Hey guys, it's my second video today, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing all the 2010 pay-per-views. So yeah, let's get to it. It's a pretty good year, 2010, last year. I have all the pay-per-views for it. First off, the Royal Rumble. It was a good Royal Rumble, not the best Royal Rumble, but it was a good one. I ordered this live on pay-per-view. We had Sheamus versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. It was decent. Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio for the world title. It was quick-paced. Michelle McCool versus Mickie James for the women's title. Christian versus Ezekiel Jackson for the ECW title. The Miz versus MVP for the US title. The 30-man Royal Rumble match where Edge won the Rumble. Which, last year around this time, I thought Booker T was going to come back. Okay, the Elimination Chamber 2010, I got it at FYE used when it was closing down last year. So, you know, another pretty good show. Drew McIntyre versus Kane for the Intercontinental Championship. Gail Kim versus Maurice for the Divas Championship, which actually turned out to become Gail Kim and Maurice versus Michelle McCool and Layla. Sheamus versus John Cena versus Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton versus Triple H versus Ted DiBiase for the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber. It was a good chamber match. John Cena won. And then after that, Batista came out and beat John Cena for the WWE title. Miz vs. MVP for the US title. MVP came out with Mark Henry and The Miz came out with a Big Show. It was a good match. And Undertaker versus John Morrison versus Chris Jericho versus Rey Mysterio versus R-Truth versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber. Another good chamber match. Chris Jericho won the chamber after Shawn Michaels helped him. Another good pay-per-view right there. WrestleMania 26, I got this the day it came out. Well, my mom bought it for me. This is my favorite WrestleMania out of all the ones that I've seen so far. A lot of people might not agree with me that this is the best one, but I really loved it. I watched it over and over and over last year. In fact, I might watch this again soon. A stacked WrestleMania, and it all delivered. Batista versus John Cena for the WWE title. Great match. Edge versus Chris Jericho for the World Heavyweight Championship. Another really good match. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Street versus Career. Flawless. Bret Hart versus Vince McMahon in an no-holds-barred match. Really awesome. Well, not the greatest match of all time, but, you know, just the build-up was awesome. Triple H versus Sheamus, really good. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiase, decent. Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk, a work of art. When those two are in the ring, it's so fast-paced and so awesome. John Morrison and R-Truth versus The Miz and The Big Show. This match was only 3 minutes. They didn't do good with this. The Money in the Bank ladder match. Kane versus Christian versus Kofi Kingston versus MVP versus Matt Hardy versus Shelton Benjamin versus M. Bourne versus Drew McIntyre versus Jack Swagger versus Dolph Ziggler. Another good Money in the Bank, and then Sid and Diva tag team match. Extreme Rules 2010. Another good pay-per-view. John Cena versus Batista, last man standing for the WWE title. Great match. Jack Swagger versus Randy Orton, Extreme Rules match. Good match. Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. Great match. Triple H versus Sheamus in a street fight. Okay. Edge versus Chris Jericho in a cage. Great match. Gauntlet tag team match. Okay. Michelle McCool versus Beth Phoenix. Good match. JTG versus Shad. Decent match. Let me just see how much time I have left. Oh wow, I have like 5 more minutes. Over the Limit. I didn't watch the whole show, but I got a good chunk out of it. Jack Swagger versus Big Show. Not good. John Cena versus Batista. I didn't see it, but it looks pretty good. Randy Orton versus Edge. I wasn't able to see yet, but it looks pretty good. Our Dynasty versus Jericho and The Miz. Good match. Our Truth versus Ted DiBiase. Okay. Rey Mysterio versus CM Punk. Really good. Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston. Another really good one. Nia versus Maurice. What do you expect? It's a Divas match. Fatal 4-Way. I didn't see the whole thing, but I watched some of it. Okay, not bad. Money in the Bank. Another good show. Sheamus versus John Cena. Good match. Rey Mysterio versus Jack Swagger. I didn't watch that one, actually. Now, another good show. SummerSlam. I didn't really watch much of this, actually. But it's got Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston on the card, so, you know, it's automatically good. And I have Champions 2010. I watched some of it. Actually, I watched the whole thing. What am I saying? Kane versus Undertaker for the world title. Great match. Six-pack challenge. Great match. Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Phenomenal match. Big Show versus CM Punk. Rushed. Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental title. Great. Tag Team Turmoil. Decent. Lumberjack match. Sucky. Hell in a Cell. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some of it. Triple Threat Submissions Count Anywhere. Great match. John Cena versus Wade Barrett. Great match. Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Great match. That's all I watched. Really. Survivor Series. This show wasn't bad. It picked up pretty good. It went up, down, kind of thing. Wade Barrett versus Randy Orton for the WWE title. Okay match. Kane versus Edge. Okay match. Team Mysterio versus Team Del Rio. Good match. Santino and Kozlov versus the Nexus. Bad match. Dolph Ziggler versus Caval. Great match. John Morrison versus Sheamus. Great match. Lay Cool versus Natalia. Decent match. Daniel Bryan versus Ted DiBiase. Good match. And finally, TLC. Kane versus Edge versus Rey Mysterio versus Del Rio. Great match. Miz versus Orton. Decent match. John Cena versus Wade Barrett. Chairs match. Not a great match. John Morrison versus Sheamus in the ladder match. Great match. Dolph Ziggler versus Kingston versus Swagger. Great match. And Natalia and Beth Phoenix versus Lay Cool. Decent. So yeah, guys, overall 2010 was a great pay-per-view year.